Yeah, my mom needs cataracts.
Okay, is everyone seated where they want to be? The meeting will now come to order. This is a duly advertised meeting of the Joliet Zoning Board of Appeals. In our capacity, we hear petitions for relief from the strict provisions of our city ordinance. In matters of this type, the decision of the board is final in respect that it does not go to the mayor or the city council for any further action. If you disagree with our decision, you have recourse in the court of record. We also hear petitions for variations of land use. In matters of this type, we act as an advisory committee to the mayor and city council, making a recommendation either for or against it. The final decision on land use is made by the mayor and the city council. Secretary, please call the roll.
Ms. Darley?
Here.
Mr. Ferguson?
Here.
Mr. Graham?
Here.
Ms. Nevadas? Ms. Powers?
Here.
Mr. Riggs?
Here.
Mr. Hennessy?
Here. Any requests to deviate from the agenda?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have one request to move item number 9 up, and that's petition 2013-45.
You want me to consider that, or are we going to do it?
We're going to move it up.
Okay, let's start petition 2013-45. Mr. Cabay present. You guys want to come forward?
Petition number 2013-45. The applicant is Capstone Corporation. The owner is Ronald Cabay and James Stonehouse. Location 251 Republic Avenue. Their request is for a special use permit to allow an indoor truck repair facility. The applicant is requesting a special use permit to allow use of a portion of an existing industrial structure for a truck repair facility. The entire structure is currently vacant. The property is located at 251 Republic Avenue, which is on the west side of Republic, north of Jefferson Street. The 66,000 plus square foot site is zoned I-1 light industrial. A special use permit request to allow a towing and auto repair business at that location was approved by the city in September of 2010. The towing business was never implemented at the site. Therefore, the special use permit that was approved has lapsed. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character. The land use and zoning in the vicinity of the site includes commercial and industrial, zoned I-1 light industrial to the north, south, and east, and there is a regional bike path on the west side of the property. Applicable regulations are as noted. This proposal was reviewed at the Community Design Review Board earlier this month. There were no comments from other city departments, governmental agencies, or public utilities regarding this request. Under general discussion, the applicant is requesting a special use permit on behalf of a business known as FleetNet to allow use of a portion of a vacant 15,600 square foot one-story metal warehouse located at the rear of the site. The structure, which has been vacant for approximately 4 years, will require minimal improvements to implement the truck repair facility. All truck repair is performed on large semi-truck cabs, and work is done inside the building. FleetNet does emergency repairs to large semis. The service is specialized and owner-operated. Trucks are not part of FleetNet business. FleetNet does not buy, sell, or lease trucks as part of the business. No cash transactions will take place at the site. E-commerce is the method of payment for the service. There is a site plan, I believe, that was attached to your packets. Days and hours of operation will be Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. There will be 3 employees at this location. No long-term storage of trucks will be permitted at the site. There is adequate off-street parking available adjoining the building. Should the zoning board choose to recommend approval of the special use permit, staff recommends that the following conditions be attached. One, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, before I get to the conditions, there is an addendum. Did they get the addendum? Okay, I'll read the addendum. The petitioner wishes to clarify that the truck repair business is known as Roadrunner. The petitioner currently proposes to utilize a 4,661 square foot tenant space, which is Unit F. Roadrunner may expand to other portions of the building in the future. Therefore, the petitioner requests that the special use permit apply to the entire building. Any future expansion will be subject to applicable building code requirements for the city of Joliet. And there is a floor plan attached to the addendum. Should the Zoning Board of Appeals choose to approve this special use permit, staff recommends that the following conditions be attached. One, that adequate off-street parking for 4 cars be allocated to serve the subject site and remain into the future. Two, that any required truck servicing be conducted within the warehouse. 3, that outdoor storage of semi-trucks and/or trailers shall not be permitted in excess of 3 days. 4, that truck body work shall not be conducted as part of this approval. 5, that should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and a possible revocation of the special use permit. And finally, we have added the 180-day clause. If the special use permit is granted, it shall terminate and lapse unless a building permit or certificate of occupancy is obtained not later than 180 days of the effective date of approval. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Why wasn't that implemented with the first zoning variation? Do you know, was it different ownership? Do you remember what happened back then?
The first approval?
Yeah,
Not sure.
not the same petitioner,
No.
same ownership?
Yes.
Same ownership, yeah.
Ownership? Okay. Do you swear that the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Your names and addresses.
Michael Anson, attorney representing Capstone Corporation. To my left is Ron Cabay, one of the owners of Capstone Corporation, and to my right is Mike Lopresti, who is one of the owners of Fleet Runner, the aforementioned Roadrunner, the aforementioned proposed tenant for this location.
Is Wile E. Coyote here?
Hopefully not.
I hope you don't have any problems with him. Your phone went off. I thought my hearing aid went broke again. Okay, Mr. Hanson, what have you got to say?
The staff report is accurate, especially with the addition. We've worked with staff to make sure that we're in compliance with all city codes and ordinances. We agree with the proposed conditions, and the proposed use by Mr. Lopresti fits within the character of the neighborhood. It's good to bring an enterprising business to Joliet, so we would entertain approval of our proposal.
Okay. Were you related to Ben Cabay?
That's my dad.
Your dad? We were good friends, very good friends. That won't prejudice my opinion, however. Is there anyone on the board that has any statements or comments? Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Is there anyone opposed? Chair closes the petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ferguson,
Aye.
Mr. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas. Aye. Ms. Powers,
Aye.
Mr. Riggs,
Aye.
Ms. Starley. Aye. Mr. Hennessy.
Aye. Good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, petition 2013-41,
40.
or 40, I guess it is, huh? Yeah, 40. Jorge Francini. Want to come forward, please?
Petition number 2013-40. The applicant and part owner is Jorge Francini of Imperial Roofing. Location 1132 Collins Street, and his request is for a variation of use. The petitioner is requesting a variation of use in order to allow an off-premise, full-color, and animated electronic message center on a future Joliet monument sign. The southeast corner of Collins and Woodruff Road is the location. The zoning there is I-2 General Industrial. There is one single-face sign being proposed surrounding zoning, land use, and character. The property in question is surrounded by other properties that contain I-2 General Industrial zoning. The most adjacent uses industrial and vacant institutional, but there are some residential uses south of the subject site owned by the petitioner. Applicable regulations are as noted. The Land Use Committee heard this proposal for the community sign at their meeting in July and voted unanimously to recommend approval of the proposal. The Community Design Review Board met at its meeting earlier this month. There was no discussion on this particular item. The petitioner wishes to construct a 6-foot by 12-foot electronic message center on a 6-foot-high stone monument base at the northwest corner of the roofing business. If approved, the sign will function in similar fashion to the already installed community signs within the city. There will be no more than 8 total message slots, and that's one every 10 seconds. And the city of Joliet will maintain 1 slot for city messages at all times. The city will also control 1 slot on a as space available scenario, which could be utilized for other community partners' messages also. Under the above setup, the city will be allowed a message every 80 seconds that can be changed at any time. The city will have unlimited message capabilities at every 80-second rate or better if additional space is used, and that's up to over 700,000 slots per year. The city message slots will be used for emergency announcements, severe weather, amber alerts, etc., as well as city marketing and event promotions. The other 6 to 7 messages will be open for sold advertisement space by the petitioner as allowed by the approved agreement. The stone base will be constructed with similar block masonry as the existing city monuments and will include landscaping per future approved plan. The proposed signage will remain outside of the vehicular traffic visibility triangle and will not create a nuisance to the area. The petitioner will be responsible for upkeep and maintenance of the sign and landscaped area. It should be noted that as part of this request, staff is working with the owner on the donation of a 8,200 square foot vacant lot to the east of this site that the city currently owns. The authorization to locate the community sign on the site and the donation of the lot is conditional on the owner totally renovating his property. The renovation plan should include a building addition, parking lot addition, seal coating, and striping plan, removing the old gas station canopies blocking the 2 corner entrances at Collins and Woodruff, and a future landscape plan. If approved, the following conditions should be included: that a future landscape plan be approved by staff prior to the issuance of a building permit, that a future building and property renovation plan be approved prior to the issuance of a building permit, that the owner be responsible to keep the sign in working order and maintain the sign area and landscape material and area in good condition at all times. And should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and possible revocation of the variation of use. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Secretary, are the tanks still in the ground there, the gas tanks?
No, I think they were removed. They were removed.
Tanks were removed?
Yes,
They are removed?
yes,
Okay. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
yes, sir.
May I have your names and addresses?
Carlos Snoco, 511 Theodore Street, Chi-Town Signs.
Bob Gable, United Architects, 1002 Plainfield Road in Joliet.
Any comments you'd like to make, gentlemen?
No, basically.
All right.
He basically covered everything.
Aren't they? They're really efficient, aren't
Right,
they?
right.
Really good. Any comments from the board?
I'd like to know this lot that you're receiving, is there a way that we can put that over till after the improvements are done as far as the name switch over?
Actually, that's what we were discussing, and we need that lot, so that we can, develop it, so we can put all the parking and use that lot for the trucks and everything, so that we can free up the front lot, so we can remove the two awnings, the two gas station awnings.
That can still be done without transferring ownership though.
Right, I mean, it's, that's what we're in the middle of discussing with them, as far as how they wanted to go through doing it.
Would you like to state a commission, Mr. Riggs?
Yes, I'd like to make that as one of the conditions, that has to be transferred after all the improvements are done, and that the sign be not installed until after all the improvements are done.
Okay.
One of the issues at this location is the trucks and some of the other material that are being stored on site. The reason that the petitioner came to the city with this offer was that they needed the added space, which the city lot provides. So in order to improve the site, they'll need the city lot to move their trucks to, as well as some of the other material. I think the concern is that the city doesn't get stuck without the improvements. And so there's probably a phasing plan that we could work out so that the city is made whole and that the petitioner is allowed to move forward.
Right, because, I mean, we're gonna have to put substantial amount of money into that lot just to be able to pave it, fence it off, do all that stuff, and to do it without having ownership of it. And again, we're discussing, we're working real closely with the city to make sure that, they're putting all these conditions up that we do everything, and, I'm giving them a timeline on how everything's gonna be done.
Well, again, as long as it's not transferred until the improvements are done, and the sign is not installed until the improvements are done. And is that considered a billboard or a sign?
It could be considered a sign.
It's considered an off-premise
Yeah, like an
advertising
off-premise
sign.
advertising. It's not as big as a billboard, but it'd be used the same way.
Is it not similar to the one that's on Essington and
Yeah.
Hennepin over by the
By
mall?
Mall Loop Drive,
It's
it's
gonna be
the
like
same,
that, right?
it's the same sign that's in all the entryways coming to Joliet that they have now.
Aren't all of those considered billboards?
Electronic message centers.
Yeah.
They're all off-premise advertising signs.
But they're considered billboards, aren't they?
No,
Not
No,
signs.
not by size.
no.
No.
What is your timeline?
Excuse me?
What is your timeline to get these improvements done? How long do you plan that it'll take you?
That's the thing. We've been working with cities going on now like a year and a half. As soon as we get approval, it's gonna take me anywhere from like 6 months to a year. Depends on how long it's gonna take me to do it. Right now, I mean, the way we're going, spring's coming already, or fall's coming already, so we're probably gonna have to do it first part of next year. As far as, we could start taking down canopies this year and stuff like that, but like, we gotta make the addition, so they gotta come on, and we're gonna come in for the building addition too, so this is just step one of many.
Is the funds available for that at this time?
Yes.
So why would it take so long?
We've already put, over $15,000 into the property. We haven't, we removed some trees, did some paving in the back of the lot. We've already put, $15,000 into this project, and we haven't even had any approvals yet.
Again, I would like to stay with the conditions that the land does not get transferred until everything's done, and that the sign does not get installed until all the improvements are done.
Can they legally do that work, though, on property that's not theirs?
Yes, they can do it as agreement with the city.
Yeah, we could work out a plan, perhaps providing some sort of temporary use of the city lot to move the trucks to while the work is being done, for the sign and the repaving for the front lot.
Yeah, Mr. Riggs's consideration, I think, is based on some past history where the city got stuck with some property where we went through the same thing and nothing was developed, and we ended up with transients living on the property and it went into disrepair. And I think that's his main concern.
Yes.
Are you satisfied with that, Mr. Riggs?
As long as those are put into it and that the property gets done, but I think that there should be a time limit on this also.
Yeah, and
He's
that's what,
talking a year and a half now, and I don't think we've ever had any projects that were that long.
no, I said we've been dealing with this whole issue for a year and a half.
But
I'm
you're
saying
talking
it's-
about not
It's
doing
gonna take
it
about 6
until
months.
next year.
Yeah, until early, I mean, we could start some of the improvements on the front lot now, but it probably won't be finished up till spring of next year.
I mean, not started or not finished?
Not finished until,
Well, you can set it up that
About
we can
6
review,
months.
have a review every so many months if you wish to add that also.
No, I think we can just put 6 months to have it completed.
that's fine.
Is that agreeable?
Yes.
Okay, do you want to read the petition? Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Come on forward. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, sir?
Yes.
May I have your name and address?
It's Rod Hirsch, 2131 Snow Creek Road in Naperville, Illinois. I'm the owner of Impact Outdoor, and my only issue with this, I don't have any issues with the development of the property, is the sign going on the property. Impact Outdoor has a contract with the city to develop 12 signs of this design, of a concept that we created with the monuments. So adding another sign like this before our contract is complete, that just could possibly encumber our ability to continue to develop in that area. And so we haven't located all of our signs yet at this point, and we're still asking for more locations yet at this point to complete our contract.
Have you had any trouble with the city as far as getting locations or getting them approved?
Well, there's been a number of things that have delayed our process. Some of it has been, most of it has been out of our control. Some of it we've agreed to work with the city and with the community. Some of the locations had objections. We agreed not to develop those locations. So that in turn led us to need to go to different locations. So we've been working continually since we've approved the contract to get these new locations. But they're not that easy to come by and to
Now,
develop,
I know
so it
this
takes
board
time.
has handled them all,
Right,
but you do not have an exclusive contract.
correct.
Oh, this is just fair competition.
I'm just pointing out an issue that I have.
Thank you for your comments, sir.
Okay.
Can I make a comment then?
Hmm?
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
I'm just thinking if Mr. Riggs's amendment is made a part of this, then it won't be before 6 months before you'd be building that sign, because they're looking for a completion of that before. That'd give you an additional 6 months to work the area. I'm hoping that'll be enough.
I'm on 2 years on some of the locations now, so the process is slow, and it's hard-fought battles on almost all the locations that we've got so far. So I'm continuing to fight. IDOT has been a challenge, and they, for whatever reason, are not processing permits right now.
Are you looking at new development of signs, or are you looking to put your advertising signs on top of the already existing Joliet signs?
They're new locations.
New locations?
Yes, correct.
In which case Joliet would have to
Correct.
building that sign.
Correct.
And I believe when he came up over 2 years ago, you posed the very same question of why were there 12 locations and only one on the east side of Joliet. So for this long a period of time, maybe we should have pursued other east side locations for those electronic message centers.
Have you looked at any property on Collins Street now?
Yeah.
And what problems have you ran into on Collins Street in that area?
Really, it's just some of it has been located with IDOT and then property ownerships. And we've been trying to locate, obviously on city properties first, and then we've gone to private properties after that.
Now, would IDOT be involved on this property if it's privately owned?
On Collins Street, yeah, I believe so, yeah. So that would be State Route 7, so that would require
71 and 7, yeah.
71?
171.
171. So yeah, that would require an IDOT permit.
Anything else? Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition? You want to speak in favor? You want to speak? Okay, come on up. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
Yes.
Name and address, please.
Eddie Hartzell, 3207 Wild Oak Court. When you read your report, you stated that the sign could be animated. I don't know if that was in the application or in your report. And I understand you said that they could be up for 8 seconds, or they had to be up for 8 seconds. But you also said in there, but it could be an animated graphic for 8 seconds?
80 seconds.
80 seconds.
80 seconds.
For the city.
Well, that
Every
was the
80
city.
seconds in case of an emergency.
Right. Well, that's different than a regular
Yeah.
ad. But somewhere in your report, you said animated,
Yeah. In the very beginning,
in the very beginning of your
Yeah.
report.
it does say,
I'm sorry, I'm not finding that.
How I'm animated.
the very, very beginning.
Oh, okay,
Purpose.
okay, yes. Yeah.
So you're going to allow animated?
That probably is we need to omit that because we haven't allowed animated messages.
Okay,
We've
that was
got
my
Wile
only
E.
question.
Coyote now, so.
So it would need to be static, correct?
Oh, they weren't? Okay, what I'm hearing from staff is that the agreement with Mr. Hirsch actually included animation. And the intent here is to allow the same type of use.
Define animation for us. What are we,
Moving graphics, pictures, not just text.
why are we making an exception here?
Well, it's not an exception. It's the same approvals that were made for the community message signage that Mr. Hirsch had talked about. It's the same type of sign. It's the same type of use.
Okay, so this isn't any variation from what we've been doing.
Right, exactly. So the typical message center that you see at gas stations, Walgreens, things of that nature, this is a cut above that, where we don't allow the animation on those types of signs. But these are a little bit bigger, and I guess the graphics are a little bit richer. So we've allowed those on the community message centers that we have approved in the past.
Is that spelled out in our ordinance?
It isn't. It's in the agreement, though.
I think it should be included in the ordinance if we're going to be doing this, because it looks like we're varying from any policy that we have established. Might want to talk to Jeff about that.
We will.
Will the owner be using this for his own property also?
We might, yeah. We might use it to advertise for Imperial as well.
So then we could be running into this in the future with other companies that want to put it on theirs now because it's for their own business also.
We could, yes.
It's just like anybody can rent, anybody can lease a space from us, a spot, you know.
But yeah, I just agree that we should have some consistency in it, and if it's just by agreement with us,
Yeah, all we're trying to do is get
it
the
should
same
be in the
agreement.
ordinance, is what I'm stating, so.
Yeah, all we're trying to get the same exact agreement that they have for
Yeah, but the same exact agreement is not at a business location where yours would be at a business location. It's not on the city properties or anything like that. It's at your location advertising your business along with others. And that's what I think Mr. Hartzell is trying to bring up is he has quite a few of them all over the town, and what prevents all the other companies from starting to put animated on theirs also.
Because,
Like it was
let me add
static.
one thing. A true billboard does not have animated capabilities. And this is a billboard. I mean, I don't care how you look at it, it's a billboard. And I know
I think-
Daktronics, I know Watchfire, I know all the companies that do this. We deal with all of them. And a true billboard does not have animation capabilities. So if it's being put up as a sign, it's not, but
Well,
you
why
guys
don't you-
consider it.
No, talk to staff and give them your comments, and they're going to draft a more specific ordinance, so we've got more of an understanding of the distinction between these.
I think there's a confusion. It's animated graphics, where it's a picture versus a video. I have seen graphics pictures at the billboards at the mall location and at the one on theater and what is it, Larkin, the one by the what is that, Office Max, Ultra Foods. Okay, and they do have graphics. They have pictures versus video, which is I think one of the sign that we allowed right down the street here at the one bar. They have graphics, moving graphics. They cannot be fast moving, and they cannot be like a video. And we told them they could not have video. They can have pictures, but not video.
But your animation is video.
When they're switching from
That's the difference.
one picture to the other.
Technically, you're right. That's why I think the ordinance should be more specific on what exactly they're granting here.
I mean, we've done a lot of signs, and you've always told us that nobody could have
Animated video.
animated graphics, so
Okay,
that's all I
thank
have
you.
to say. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyone else have any comments? Chair is going to close petition to the floor and ask the board for discussion. and
Mr.
vote.
Chairman, before you vote, we'd like to add another condition, and that is that the petitioner receive the appropriate IDOT permits and approvals as a condition.
Well, that's what I was asking about before the meeting, yeah.
Yeah, we need to include that as a condition.
Because it is on a state highway, so.
Right.
All right. And your condition has been stated?
Yes, my conditions have been stated, and I'll stand with that.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do you have a second? Is there any second? Third call for a second to the motion. Is there a second? Motion then to deny.
Motion to deny.
Second.
We have a motion second to deny the petition. Call the roll.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas?
Abstain.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Darley?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
No.
Mr. Hennessy?
Well, it's already carried. I'm going to abstain also, but exactly what is it that the board would like to see accomplished here?
I'd like
Have
to
it
see
come
the
back with-
animation issue straightened out once and for all. I don't want to vote on something that's
Okay, I'd like to get it that in the record why we're,
That would be one reason.
okay. All right. I also will vote aye on the petition then. Mr. Qualley, give us the roll vote.
Yeah, I think that's what he's asking for.
And this can appear, he can come back once we get that ordinance thing straightened out, so we can be more specific on what exactly these signs can have on them, I think is what the board's trying to say.
But this will go to council first, won't it?
Yeah, it will go to council with the denial. I think the petitioner is then obligated to wait, I think is it 6 months? Or there would have to be new information coming back through the petitioner to come back to this
That could be done by
board.
staff with the ordinance being more specific.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We've already approved it.
Well, he can still do all the land improvements and the building and all without the sign. The sign is only one part of it, I think, isn't it?
And the income from the sign, the message spaces that you would sell.
Right.
Yeah,
Ideally, all we were wanting to do was purchase the property. That's all I want to do, just purchase the property. City of Joliet and I talked about it, because you see that corner? That's one of the main artery ways into Joliet. They didn't want to see two big old canopies, a truck parking lot in the front. So I told them that I would develop the corner myself, do all the improvements in exchange for the property. This property, for the cost that it would cost me to buy it, I wouldn't even have to, it's costing me a lot more to develop
By the
that
time
corner.
it gets to the council, they may have worked something out, and the council may override us.
Yeah, basically, that's fine.
But the board has stated their concerns, and we must abide by that.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Petition 2013.
So it's gonna be
41.
tabled, or is it gonna be denied?
It was denied.
Denied?
It
Oh,
was denied.
it's,
Esperama Villa. Petition 2013-41.
Petition number 2013-41. The applicant is Esperama Villa, who is also the owner. Location 713 Nicholson Street. The request is for a variation of a required side yard setback from 8 feet to 5 feet to allow a second-story addition. The applicant would like to construct a second-story addition on the existing residence. The purpose of the addition is to provide increased living area in the home. The lot is 7,000 plus square feet in size and is located in an established near West Side neighborhood, south of Black Road and west of Center Street. The property is improved with a one and partial two-story, I think that's building. One and partial two-story, 1,100 square foot frame residence, which was built in 1900, and a detached two-car garage, which was built in 2000. The land use to the north, south, east, and west is single-family residential, zoned R2, single-family residential. Two-unit residential land use zoned R3, which is one and two-family residential zoning, is located northeast of the site. Applicable regulations are as noted. The Community Design Review Board met and discussed this at their meeting earlier this month. There were no other comments from other city departments, governmental agencies, or public utilities regarding this request. The proposed second floor addition will generally conform to the current style of the petitioner's residence. Currently, the front portion of the residence is a full 2 stories. The addition will include 2 bedrooms and a future living storage area. The second floor addition will not reduce existing side yard setbacks at the site. A site plan and proposed floor plan are available. Should the board wish to approve this variation, staff recommends that the following conditions be attached. 1, that should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and possible revocation. And we have also added the 180-day clause where the variation will terminate and lapse unless a building permit or certificate of occupancy is obtained not later than 180 days of the effective date of approval. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, ma'am?
No, it's okay. Can come with me.
Lower the microphone, please.
He can come with me, and then
Down.
if you have any question, he tell me you can call him.
Could I have your name and address, please?
My name is Esperanza Villa. My address is 713 Nicholson Street.
All right, thank you. Are there any other comments you'd like to make?
No.
Any questions or comments from the board?
No.
Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone opposed? Chair closes the petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Call the roll.
Ms. Nevares.
Aye.
Ms. Powers.
Aye.
Mr. Riggs.
Aye.
Ms. Darling.
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson.
Aye.
Mr. Graham.
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy.
Aye. Thank you. Bill Boyd, present. Well, we had Wile E. Coyote, now we got Buffalo Bill, or Hopalong Cassidy. Okay,
Petition
let's hear
number-
petition 2013-42.
Petition number 2013-42. The applicant is Bill Boyd. He is also the owner. Location is 812 West Shire Drive. His request is a variation of maximum lot coverage from 30% to 36%, and several variations to allow construction of a 12-foot by 16-foot rear addition on an existing home. The applicant would like to construct a rear addition on the east side of the existing residence. The purpose of the addition is to provide increased living area in the home. The lot is 7,000 plus square feet in size and is located in the West Plaza subdivision, located north of Black Road and west of Midland Avenue. The property is improved with a one-story, 1,100 plus square foot frame residence built in 1956 and a detached two-car garage built in 1984. The land use and zoning to the north, south, and west is single-family residential, zoned R2, single-family. Land use and zoning to the east is institutional and also a church, zoned R2, single-family. Applicable regulations are as noted. The Community Design Review Board discussed the request at their meeting earlier this month, and there were no subsequent comments from other city departments, governmental agencies, or public utilities regarding this request. The proposed rear addition will conform to the current style of the petitioner's residence. The addition will be located 6 feet from the north property line and will not reduce existing side yard setbacks at the site. In addition to a request to increase maximum lot coverage from 30% to 36%, the petition includes a request to vary minimum side yard setbacks on the south side from 6 feet to 1 feet and on the north side from 9 feet to 4.8 feet. Should the board wish to approve this variation, staff recommends that the following conditions be attached. 1, that should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and a possible revocation of the variation. And finally, we have added the 180-day clause that should the variation granted, it will terminate and lapse unless a building permit or certificate of occupancy is obtained not later than 180 days of the effective date of this approval. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, sir?
I do.
Your name and address.
William Boyd, 812 Northwest Shire Drive, Joliet, 60425.
Any comments, sir?
Well, gotta put the room on because we got my granddaughter there. She got out of St. Jude's Hospital with cancer in December. In the middle of January, her husband threw her out and wants a divorce, so we got her. That's what the addition's for.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from the board? Anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Anyone opposed? Chair closes petition, asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion second to approve. Call the roll.
Ms. Powers.
Aye.
Mr. Riggs.
Aye.
Ms. Darling.
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson.
Aye.
Mr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Nevares.
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy.
Aye. Thank you. Van Bruggen signs. Petition 2013-43.
Petition number 2013-43. The applicant is Van Bruggen Signs. They are the sign contractor. The owner is Lynn McInnery of Lenny's Route 66 Fuel Stop. Location is 2401 South Chicago Street. and the request is for a variation on allowed signage. The petitioner is requesting a variation to allow the installation of a full-color message center on a newly proposed monument sign. The southwest corner of Route 53 and Laraway Road was approved for annexation zoning classification to B3, which is general business zoning, and an annexation agreement in November of 2000. Preliminary and final plats for Stone City Commercial Park were approved in 2006, and an amended recording plat was approved in 2011. This 8-acre site is currently under construction as the Route 66 Food and Fuel Travel Center for both cars and trucks, and will also contain a 5,700 square foot building for a convenience store, Dunkin' Donuts with a drive-through, and a Pop's Italian beef sandwich counter. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character is as noted. Applicable regulations are as noted. The Community Design Review Board met at its meeting earlier this month. There was no discussion on this particular item. The requested variation will allow the construction of a new monument sign that includes a full-color message center for the future travel center. The size for the proposed message center is 4 feet by 8 feet. The text will be slow-moving or still and will include messages regarding products and services available on premise and also time and temperature. The overall proposed height of the new sign is 12.5 feet by 21 feet. The proposed sign will be two-sided, will maintain a minimum 10-foot setback, and will not exceed 150 square feet in sign area. The material for the new monument sign is a face brick and stone veneer in order to complement the new building. If the zoning board desires to approve the variance, the following conditions will be included. 1, that the text be slow-moving or static, and 2, that the base of the sign be constructed with face brick and stone veneer to complement the existing building material. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, gentlemen?
Yes.
Could I have your names and addresses?
Len McHenry, 171 12 Point Drive, Orland Park.
Sam Van Bruggen, 13401 Southwest Highway, Orland Park.
You're gonna talk to them?
Greg McClellan, 25463 Mallard Drive.
Thank you. Any comments you'd like to make, gentlemen?
I think the staff report was complete.
Okay, any questions or comments from the board? Anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Is anyone opposed? Chair closes petition, asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Call the roll.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Starley? Aye. Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas? Aye. Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
lock in those gas prices.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Okay. Eddie Hartzell, Express Signs and Lighting, petition 2013-44.
Petition number 2013-44. The applicant is Eddie Hartzell of Express Signs and Lighting. The owner is Michelle Paolucci. Location 1960 Essington Road. The request is for a variation to allow a full-color LED message center on an existing 3.5 foot by 9.5 foot monument sign. The applicant is requesting approval of a variation of allowable signage to permit the installation of a 3.5 foot by 9.5 foot illuminated LED message center on an existing monument sign. The site is located at 1960 Essington Road, which is on the east side of Essington, south of Fide. The site is a rectangular-shaped parcel with outside dimensions of 150 feet by 248 feet. Property is Zone B3, which is our general business zoning district. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the site is adjoined by commercial use, Zone B3 to the north, south, and west, and by multifamily residential use, Zone R4, multifamily zoning to the east. Applicable regulations are as noted. This matter was reviewed at the Community Design Review Board earlier this month. There were no comments from other city departments, governmental agencies, or public utilities regarding this request. The site consists of an 11,000-plus square foot, one-story, multi-tenant commercial strip center known as Crystal Point. The building was constructed in 1989 as part of the West Wego subdivision. The applicant is requesting a variation to allow replacement of an existing message board with a full-color LED message center. The message board is part of the main monument sign located at the front of the property. The total sign area on the renovated sign will be approximately 100 square feet. The sign currently has adequate landscaping at the base. Should the board wish to approve the variations, staff recommends that the following condition be included: that the message sign not exceed 33 square feet, and that the message center must be slow-moving, no flashing text is permitted. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
Yes.
Name and address.
Eddie Hartzell, 3207 Wild Oak Court. And I think the staff pretty well covered everything.
Boy, we got a lot of faith in those guys. Any comments from the board? Anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Anyone opposed? Chair closes petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Call the roll.
Ms. Early? Aye. Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Excuse me. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Adrian Murison, petition 2013-46.
Petition number 2013-46. The applicant is Adrian Murison. The owner is Arizona Investors, LLC. Location 3470 Mound Road. Their request is for a variation of maximum height of a wall sign from 25 feet to 31 feet. The applicant is requesting approval of a variation of allowable signage to permit the installation of a 63 square foot illuminated wall sign on an industrial warehouse located at 3470 Mound Road, which is on the east side of Hollywood Boulevard, south of I-80. The sign will have an overall height of 31 feet, which is 6 feet higher than the ordinance allows. The site is 4.1 acres in size. Property is zoned I-2 General Industrial. The site is adjoined by undeveloped land uses, unincorporated Will County to the north, and undeveloped land use zoned I-2 to the south and west. Industrial land use zoned I-2 is located east of the site. Applicable regulations are as noted. This matter was reviewed at the Community Design Review Board earlier this month. There were no subsequent comments from other city departments, governmental agencies, or public utilities regarding this request. The site consists of a large one-story brick construction supply industrial warehouse built in 2006. The applicant is requesting a variation to allow the installation of an internally illuminated wall sign on the existing north wall of the structure at an overall height of 31 feet. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
Yes.
Name and address, please.
My name is Adrian Murison, 415 Cimarron Drive in Aurora, Illinois.
Any comments you'd like to make?
No comments. It's pretty much all covered.
Questions or comments from the board? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Anyone opposed? Chair closes petition to the floor. Ask the board for discussion and a vote.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Darley? Aye. Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye, thank you.
Thank you.
Anthony Cabela, petition 2013-47.
Petition number 2013-47. The applicant is Anthony Cavalier IV, who is also the owner. Location is 830 North Center Street. His request is for a variation of use to allow renovation of a vacant storefront into a real estate office, which is an RB restricted business use in an R2 single-family residential zoning district. The petitioner is requesting a special use permit to allow a small real estate office, an adaptive reuse of a former commercial storefront. The structure is located at 830 North Center Street, which is at the southeast corner of Center and Ross. The property is 4,800 plus square feet in size. The site is improved with a vacant 1,900 square foot two-story brick building built on a basement in 1920. The building has a vacant upper level, two-bedroom apartment in need of repair. The main floor commercial space is currently gutted. The building was built as a mixed-use structure, a common feature in established near West Side neighborhoods in Joliet in the early to mid-1900s. The main floor commercial space has a varied history as Ranchetta Grocery Store, and that was 1930 through 1950s, Sontag Auto Parts Store during the 1990s, and G&S Quality Used Furniture, late 1970s. A variation of use was approved to allow the used furniture retail store at the site in 1976. The repeal of that variation of use that allowed the used furniture store will be placed on the September zoning board agenda. This site, again, is zoned R2 single-family residential. Surrounding zoning land use and character to the north and west is two-family residential use zoned R3, which is 1 and 2 family residential zoning. Land use and zoning to the south and east is single-family residential use zoned R2 single-family. Applicable regulations are as noted. The Community Design Review Board discussed this request at its meeting earlier this month. There were no subsequent comments from other city departments or utilities regarding the request. The main floor former commercial space has remained vacant and in disrepair since mid-1990. The request to renovate the long vacant storefront requires a variation of use. The petitioner plans to obtain a 968 square foot, plans to open a 968 square foot real estate office at the site. He currently operates his real estate office at an industrial site in Shanahan. The Joliet office is planned to accommodate between 5 and 7 real estate agents. The days and hours of operation of the office will be Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The commercial space will require a gut rehab. A summary of the renovation plan, I don't know if we have that, but it would probably be available at some point. The petitioner will create a paved, landscaped, off-street parking area at the rear of the site for up to 4 cars. The parking area will accommodate the office and upper-level apartment parking demand. A 6-foot-high wood shadow box-style fence will be installed at the south property line to visually screen the office from the adjoining residential use. The real estate office will provide an accessible entrance at the back of the property via a wood rear porch, which will be rebuilt as part of the building renovation plan. If the zoning board desires to approve the variation of use, the following conditions would be included: that the paved off-street parking for 4 cars be installed within 60 days of approval and remain in the future, that off-street parking be limited to tenant, employee, and customer vehicles, that a landscape area be provided between the rear parking area and the adjacent alley, that the property owner shall participate in the landlord training tenant screening program administered by the City of Joliet, that site improvements conform to the submitted site landscape plan, that the days and hours of operation of the real estate office be Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Also, we have included the 180-day clause that the variation granted shall terminate and lapse unless a building permit or certificate of occupancy is obtained not later than 180 days of the effective date of approval. And should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and possible revocation of the variation of use. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
I do.
And your name and address?
Anthony Cavalier, 4318 Bronx Corner in Joliet.
Any comments you'd like to make, sir?
The staff report is very complete. The only comment I'd like to make is that I'm eager to work with the city of Joliet. I want to make the building, I want to make it nice. I don't want it to stand out as an eyesore, and I just want to cooperate with the city.
Are you going to be closing down your other office?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be closing it or just relocating it. I haven't decided it yet, but it's very, very likely that I'll be relocating the business entirely.
What about the upstairs? Are you going to renovate that too, or?
Yes, that's not a gut rehab, but it will be renovated for a tenant.
That would be a rental space.
That would be a rental space, yes, sir.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
Yeah, I have a question about the parking. Is parking for 4 enough there? I mean, if he's going to have 5 to 7 agents and customers and tenants, is that going to be enough parking? I mean,
it would be rare for all of the agents to be there at any given time. It'd be unusual. I also plan on paving that area with the driveway on the side, which could provide more another space, certainly. I mean, if I can squeeze out another space, I certainly will, but the property is limited in size in terms of what we can do for parking off-street.
so for sure you'll have 2 tenant spaces. I mean, those would be reserved for tenants, right?
Yes.
2?
Yes. I believe the requirement, I was told, is 1.5. I'm not sure how that'll work. I assume 2 spaces would probably be best for tenants. 2 adults are living there.
Is there room to angle on that side driveway, angle park?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
No, I don't think so either. Okay.
Is that a 2-bedroom unit on the second floor?
Yes, it is. 2-bedroom, 1 bath.
And it's currently vacant?
Yes.
Anyone else have any comments? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Anyone opposed? Chair closes petition, asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Call the roll.
Ms. Nevades?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Darley?
No.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Yes. Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Yes, aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, petition number, let's see, who have we got here? The applicant is Impact Outdoor LLC. Petition 2013-48.
Petition number 2013-48 through 2013-50. The applicant is Impact Outdoor LLC. The owners are varied. 2013-48 would be City of Joliet right-of-way, and that's located northeast at Northeast Hobolt Road and Riverboat Center. 2013-59, the owner is CBL Properties. That's the Louis Joliet Mall.
It's 49, isn't it?
49, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Located at 3200 Mall Loop Drive. 2013-50, the owner there is White Castle, located at 1803 West Jefferson Street.
Are we going to vote on these all at once, or are we going to treat them separately?
This should be separate.
They're 3 separate locations.
Yeah,
So let's just hear 2013-48.
Okay. The request is for variations to allow electronic LED message centers for 10 locations. The petitioner is requesting variations to allow full colored and animated electronic message centers for 3 proposed City of Joliet monument signs at different locations in the city. 2013-48, again, Northeast Hobolt Road and Riverboat. 2013-49, Southwest Colorado and Mall Loop Drive. 2013-50, 1803 West Jefferson Street. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character, 3 commercially zoned areas that are surrounded by commercial uses. Applicable regulations are as noted. The Land Use Committee heard the proposal for the video signage at their meeting on July 9th of 2013 and voted to recommend their approval with a 3-0 unanimous vote in favor. The mayor and city council heard the proposal for the community video signage at their pre-council meeting on April 18th, 2011, and approved the contracts for 12 locations within the city with a 7-0 unanimous vote in favor. The Community Design Review Board met at its monthly meeting earlier this month. There were no comments regarding this issue at that meeting. The petitioner wishes to construct 3 new 6-foot by 12-foot electronic message centers on 6-foot-high stone monument bases with the Joliet script within the city. The 3 new locations are substitute locations for previously approved sites that were not utilized by the petitioner. The applicant still desires to construct 12 total signs as per the original agreement. To date, 2 signs have been constructed and a building permit for a 3rd sign has been approved. If approved, the signs will have 8 total message slots, and that's 1 every 10 seconds. And the City of Joliet will maintain 1 slot for city messages at all times. The city will also control 1 slot on an as space available scenario, which could be utilized for other community partners' messages. Under the agreement, the city will be allowed a message every 80 seconds that can be changed at any time. The city will have unlimited message capabilities at an every 80-second rate or better, and that would be over 700,000 slots per year. The city message slots will be used for emergency announcements such as tornado service, severe weather, and amber alerts, as well as city marketing and event promotions. The other 6 to 7 messages will be open for sold advertisement space by the petitioner as allowed by the approved agreement. The stone base will be constructed with similar block masonry to existing city monuments and will receive landscaping around the bases as per an approved plan. The proposed signage will remain outside of the vehicular traffic visibility triangle and will not create a nuisance to the area. The petitioner will be responsible for upkeep and maintenance of the sign and sign area. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, sir.
Yes.
Your name and address.
Rod Hirsch, 2131 Snow Creek Road, Naperville.
Any comments?
I'll agree with everybody else. The staff report is complete.
Care to take a bow, Ms. Kendall, or staff? Okay, let's look at petition at the number 2013-48. Any comments from the board on that? Anybody in the audience wish to speak in favor of that location? Anyone opposed? Chair closes that petition and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Before we vote, Mr. Chairman, there's again an issue with the animation that's under the purpose section here. And I move for a table before I'd approve any of these because we just denied one earlier for the same reason, or at least I did.
Mr. Chairman, this particular petition is per an agreement with the City of Joliet. As stated, it's been vetted through the City Council Land Use Committee. This is just a continuation of the agreement, which I believe gave Mr. Hirsch 12 locations throughout town, and he's just working through that agreement. You have two locations in operation now.
Correct.
And
Plus the expressway board.
in the expressway. And we haven't had any issues with any of the messaging on there or the animation.
So I might clarify that for you. The digital boards that we use do not have video cards. So they're designed as billboard
What I said.
static images only. So we don't allow.
If that's the case, I'd like the petition changed, that word taken out then completely, if we could do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Do you withdraw your tabling motion?
I withdraw. Remove animated, withdraw table.
Are we just voting on the locations, basically?
Correct.
Okay, that's it, yeah. The motion would be in order.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 2013-48. Call the roll.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Darley?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Petition 2013-49, Southwest Colorado and Mall Loop Drive. Anyone in the audience wish to speak in favor? Anyone opposed? Board have any comments? Would you like to make the same observation on this one? The condition that the wording be eliminated for animation. Motion would be in order.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve 2013-49. Call the roll.
Ms. Darley?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Petition 2013-50, 1803 West Jefferson Street. Any comments from the board?
Where is that one
Where?
gonna go?
Exactly.
And just to the north and to the east of the White Castle sign in the parkway.
If you
And there's
tried
no
your,
visual problems there? That
that's-
just seems awful.
Yeah.
That one does concern me a lot because, I mean, statistics show that we have an accident on that
Kentucky Fried
corner
Cod, no,
practically every day.
I haven't tried.
So
I like
that one does concern me.
I mean, that just is gonna be really, really crowded there, I think. That White Castle sign's gonna stay up?
Yeah, the White Castle sign stays up. There's, that picture doesn't really honestly show that corner as well as it does. There's a lot more space to the north of that than that picture shows.
Aerial view.
It would be facing the corner or facing?
Yeah, it would
the-
face the intersection, correct. Yeah, it'd be a single-sided sign facing the intersection. It's not a back-to-back. It's just a single-sided sign with an angle to the intersection.
So angled like this, not like this, not like this, but angled?
Yeah,
Angled.
correct. Little, 45 is probably not the correct angle, but something of a 45-degree angle.
I don't know, that's awful. Seems awfully crowded there.
And again, there is more space there than that picture
I,
allows.
I'm very familiar with that area.
The sign would actually almost be perpendicular to the White Castle sign.
Can we see that again, please? That, not this spot, but the one with the
Street
White
level?
Castle sign? There.
There.
And probably, I'm gonna guess it's 15 to 20 feet to the north of the White Castle sign.
So it'll be
There's-
back off the corner quite a bit?
Yeah, and perpendicular.
Is any signage going to have to be moved there?
No,
Or landscaping?
well, we're gonna add additional landscaping.
I know, but that landscaping that White Castle has, that's gonna stay too?
Correct.
And there's a box there, right, an electrical, way back behind the
I
sign?
think that's a donation box.
Oh,
But
all right.
there is a smaller sign. We're seeing the back of it in this picture.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's a street sign. I
It's a
think
street
that's street sign.
sign, a directional, or,
I think that's what that is. I don't remember. Said I was familiar with that area, and now I don't remember what that sign says. But, yeah, there's that, what we see the back of? Do you know?
It's on a wooden post, that's one you're talking about.
Yeah,
Oh, that's just the, mhm.
Mr. Hirsch, how far from the back edge of the sidewalk would you estimate your sign would be?
Well, there is, from that, it's probably, I'm gonna say it's probably 6, 7 feet back. Well, one corner is gonna be farther back than the other because it's gonna be angled.
So it's an angled sign that's actually pushed back?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be back up towards the landscape. There's actually a sidewalk that comes through there, and so I believe if I'm remembering properly, there's a sidewalk that's between there, and then, so between the White Castle sign, there's a sidewalk, and then there's another parcel, small parcel that will have our sign in it. So there's actually, like I said, there's more space there than there actually, is there a way to bring that overhead back up again of the?
See, that area that I'm looking at, it looks like it's almost behind the box where you place your order. 'Cause that's that curve back here. That's,
Oh, no, it's not going in the back. It's going in the front.
here.
It's going up where one of those vehicles are, basically.
okay, then this little thing has
Back in
nothing to
here.
do with
Yeah.
it.
No,
And this thing here, it's up
No.
here,
yeah.
way up here.
Isn't it?
Any other comments from the board? Anybody in the audience wish to speak in favor? Well, we have the staff and the press out there. Let's see. Anyone opposed? Anyone to speak in favor? Chair closes petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, to approve petition 2013-50, subject again to the animation
clause,
exclusion. Call the roll.
Ms. Starley?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas?
No.
Ms. Powers?
No.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you. Motion carried. Okay, anything else, Secretary?
I think that is it.
Okay, all those in favor of approving the minutes of last meeting signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
Have a good time. Aloha. Aloha.